Oh, I see Europe as a Kazakh. Right then, I definitely see no bias with this at all. Honestly, this guy really didn't have to go to this much effort. A lot of people actually consider Kazakhstan as European. Well, to some extent, you know. That's enough to get you in Eurovision, so there was real no big deal about it. And damn, this guy's gone into some detail. He's called Russian Guyana, the Kaliningrad Empire. Honestly, becoming tradition at this point now to just delete France, and I don't know why. In like 1,000 years' time, when historians are looking back on maps that they found, they didn't notice a sudden disappearance in France in 2025, and they will have no idea what could have possibly happened. And man, do I wish I could be there. How I see Europe as a Greek. Okay, cool, man. What did we do? Actually, to be fair, the Greeks have a fairly good point. Have you seen how British people act at an all-inclusive hotel? It's very barbarian-like. How I see Europe. Oh my god, how many of these is there going to be? You cannot use a cross to determine this, that's for sure. Because the UK is Northern and Western Europe. Poland is Central Europe. Of course, the most obvious part about all of this, Eastern Europe is not an Eastern Europe. Oh yeah, and of course, the North Sea in Western Europe. You know, Photoshop exists, my friend. You clearly know how it works. You could have manipulated the map a bit to be in your favour, but you just said, nah, screw it. I want there to be contradictions. The truest size of Russia. Damn. They left the United Nations? Europe during Eurovision. Yeah, it just doesn't seem right. I understand it was because of like a 50-year anniversary of Eurovision, so they decided to invite a country. Mnemonic to remember the Great Lakes spy. Lisa likes licking lettuce lightly. Okay, what's going on here, buddy? L being for Lake Superior. L being for Lake Michigan. L for being Lake Huron. Yeah, this ain't gonna work, buster. Honestly, for a minute, I thought this was Tottenham's Premier League record. Chelsea! Honestly, quite risky of me to say that when the Europa League final is on tonight. I hope both of you guys lose. How I see Europe as a person from the UK. Damn, he's got good eyesight. I'm no expert though. I'm pretty sure he's not in the UK. Is that not the White Cliffs of Dover in the distance? Or does France have like their own White Cliffs of Dover as well? And also, are the French moving closer to us or something? There's meant to be like a 20-mile gap. This looks like a 2-mile at best. Oh god, they're making us rejoin the EU. We've had Brexit, get ready for Frenchants. Countries where the act of murder is considered to be culturally taboo. I mean, as someone from the UK, he's actually not wrong. This guy in my town actually murdered someone and now his family don't speak to him. Probably the case in the other red countries as well, but as for the grey ones, I think they embrace it. I think they love it. America, you know, they've got a murder leaderboard with promotion and relegation system. Portugal actually do a pizza party every year for the person with the most murders. Honestly, crazy. Apparently they get stuffed crust as well. My solution to the Paraguay-Kurdistan conflict. I'm sorry, have I missed a chapter? Paraguay? Kurdistan? What conflict could have possibly happened? And also, why do we need an ice wall? They are two landlocked countries, landlocked by countries with even harsher terrain, and are on 2 different continents across an ocean. We do not need an ice wall. And also, I have a feeling this ice wall wouldn't work. Because, of course, if you know how the Earth works, if you go to the left here, you actually respawn on the right just up here. So they can kind of go around the ice wall. It's a waste of time. Is this an actual conflict though? Now you got me thinking. Is this European country part of European history according to a European history course? God, you know when it includes America, things are about to go down. Of course, the UK and France. Is it? Wait, what? How do you have Germany in Sorta? And Italy as well, what? Yeah, you know Italy, they colonised the majority of Europe. Kind of blown out of proportion, really. Germany, you know, back-to-back world wars, but they didn't really win it, and nobody ever mentions the losers, so... Not mentioning Scandinavia at all is insane. As if they didn't have some of the tallest history, you know? This is outrageous, so I'd personally be offended. Switzerland, I can kind of understand, you know, history is always about conflict, and Switzerland have just not even shied away. They just stick their headphones on, don't they? Percentage of people who believe the government is hiding a cure to baldness. Think about it, people. If everyone had luscious hair, what would happen to the hat economy? The only ones wearing them would be racist truck drivers. Damn though, Turkey is 71%, which is kind of crazy because Turkey is the cure to baldness nowadays. 42% in Ireland. Of course, Switzerland is neutral about all of this. One day we'll make them answer. North Macedonia is actually the highest out of every single country. And by the looks of it, Denmark has the least. The country with great hair genetics don't believe the government are hiding a cure to baldness. You know why that is? They don't have resentment. Death rate in every country. Death rate 100%. Does seem to be a trend, you know. People dying. I know so many people that have died. It could happen to any one of us. How I see Europe as visually impaired. Jeez, that's beyond visually impaired. Do you think now's the time we tell him about Luxembourg? This guy's so visually impaired that Italy's become amputated. Damn, best of luck to you, my friend, but please never get behind the wheel. If this land actually existed, what would you name it? It's never gonna happen. Why even bother, you know? Map of Europe if it was Geographical. This is a level of patriotism I've never seen before in my life. A Turkey blocking the UK from Iceland. How are we meant to get our I actually have no idea what we trade with Iceland. Eastern Europe now has an inner Turkey. Switzerland finally hasn't survived a border conflict for once. That's something. So the power of the Turkish for it to happen. Weather forecast for Greenland. Oh, thank God they added the unit of measurements in for the no data category. Glad they cleared that up. You know what? You really can't fault Greenland. I learned about data protection acts at college and they were a pain to deal with. It's pretentious. Too much legislation. If there's no data, it kind of just settles that, to be honest. What's the name of this country? Oh, that's not a country. That's the Isle of Wight. Death rate in every country. Oh my God, not again, man. We can't keep getting away with this, surely. To be fair though, I do remember like learning about Greenland in geography and something about death is like really heavily frowned upon. So yeah, they probably just didn't want to talk about it. So yeah, I kind of understand. I think this is a one time where it makes sense. Just Europe aggressively insisting that it's a real continent. Hey, would you look at that, huh? Everyone gets their own Eurovision. Why does Asia not have one? What's that all about? You insisting that we're just Western Asia? Because if that's the case, then they make a good point. You think about it, we're just kind of a peninsula of Asia. Right, I feel like we've seen every map, every hypothetical situation possible, so I think that's a perfect place to end today's video. I will try to make these weekly, but if you haven't got any other video suggestions, then please leave them in the comments below. And always, please feel free to subscribe as we are getting super close to 10 million subscribers. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.